What's up, Frank? All right. Greetings, everybody. My name is Cassandra Floyd. I am the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. It is Sunday, May 28th, and I'm going to get right to it because we got a lot of ground to cover. Yesterday, I began the process of deconstructing, at least from my particular worldview and understanding, the movie Suicide Squad. So I am going to eventually, I'll make a concerted effort soon to start doing to launch my movie review channel, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've done it every now and again, but this movie was hot on my spirit this weekend. I was like, I'm doing it this weekend. So if you missed yesterday's presentation, on part one of the Suicide Squad, the breakdown of the occult and mythological greetings, Carlotta, the occult and mythological, like deep and political for that matter, deep philosophical hidden imagery and messaging in that movie. Go, if you're on Instagram, just go to either my Daughter of the Fates or my ReleaseHeartCenter page. You can see the video there. Otherwise, you can watch it on YouTube or on Facebook. They both broadcast live there. Housekeeping really quick. If you are tuning in from Facebook or from IG, I would like to encourage you to go to my YouTube channel and watch this live so I can continue to get my watch hours up and my subscriptions up so they can start paying me, you feel me? So I can monetize my page. So that my YouTube channel is Cassandra Faye Floyd, or you can also find my YouTube channel at Daughter of the Fates. If you are tuning in via YouTube or Facebook, you can see on my screen, because I'm streaming through StreamYard. So you can see all of my information, my IG, my two IGs, my Twitter, my YouTube, and also if you'd like to send a donation, which I encourage. There is a lot of study time that goes into these little presentations that I do. If you would like to make a donation, contribution of any kind, that information is also there. You can Venmo me, PayPal, Cashapp, or Zelle, and or email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. That's all the housekeeping. Let's get to it. Now, if today is your first day checking in, yesterday we did an hour-long discussion on the symbology, the deep, occult, spiritual, and political hidden symbology within the Suicide Squad. If you missed it, you missed a lot yesterday. Find out what that is, because I'm jumping right where we left off. Right where we left off yesterday was in our discussion about Dr. June Moon and her ambition to reemerge on the earth as the mother goddess. And in partnership with this campaign was her soliciting the body of a Black man to inhabit the spirit of her brother, who is her protector in her weakness, and his only function, his only role, his only reason for existing is to protect and to serve the mother. That's all. You understand? Now, I had a couple of epiphanies last night, because yesterday when I was talking about the show, there were some things I was re-listening to the presentation that I made yesterday, and it's just like this deep, shit just keeps coming up. So in the discussion about harleyquinn, now I went into like the history, the Yoruba history of her character. But one thing I completely missed and didn't think about till last night, I talked about this tendency of the process of disempowering women being the reduction of women to crazy. That somehow all you have to do is reduce a woman to, quote, crazy. All you have to do is diagnose a woman with, quote, crazy bitch syndrome. And now all of a sudden, any violence perpetrated against her is now justified. Any aggression levied towards her is now seen as not so aggressive or necessary because the bitch crazy. You feel me? And so that's not the only side of it. That's what I went into yesterday. But the other thing that struck me last night was Dr. June Moon is a PhD psychiatrist. You understand? She is a PhD psychiatrist charged with the responsibility to treat a psychopathic, looting, robbing gangster, right? And that is such an insidious relationship. Because what happens here, Joker is strapped in a freaking straitjacket while she's counseling him. And he woos her and wins her. Now, the woman is brilliant. That's what we're supposed to presuppose. She's got a PhD. She's a psychiatrist working in an acclaimed hospital, treating the psychologically worst of the worst. Yet she falls for the epitome, at least in this area, in this movie, the epitome of evil, the Joker, right? And in order for the Joker not to be intimidated by her power, because her intellect is her power, her skills is her power. Her power comes from her training and her understanding and her ability to intervene for others, right? Now, in order for this woman's power to not be intimidating to this malignant version of power embodied in the Joker, she has to be transformed from genius, from brilliant intellect, from doctor, from psychiatrist, to dingbat, airhead, silly, stupid broad. This is the only way that the Joker can accept her in their partnership, is for the radical reduction, stripping away whatever power this woman was able to create for herself. That's what struck me last night. I was like, the woman went from brilliant intellect to booty short wearing, and I ain't got no problem with women wearing booty shorts. That's not the issue. But booty short wearing, crop top wearing, doe-eyed, blonde haired, blue eyed, dingbat. She has to play her brilliance down. She has to play her power down in order to maintain this malignant relationship that she has with the Joker. She has to talk like an airhead. She has to become childlike in order for this man's power to be secure in a relationship with her, right? That's what struck me last night. So even as the very real personification where mythology is important, when I talked about the dichotomy between Harley Quinn and the Joker, she essentially is reduced to his sidekick. She becomes his sidekick with benefits. You feel me? So that was one thing. Now I want to fast forward back to June Moon, because June Moon too is a doctor, an anthropologist, researcher out in the world exploring those things that have not yet been explored, right? She too is powerful in her own right and in her own lane. Now, as soon as she listened to what I am, oh my God, let me tell you, listen to what I'm telling you. As soon as the goddess chooses her body, chooses Dr. June Moon's body, right? To execute her will being to re-emerge and regain her domain over what is hers, this planet. You understand? As soon as the goddess chooses June Moon, she does not accept this call from the goddess to execute her will. In fact, what she has to do, in fact, what she has to do is she has to become, in order to be valid in this society, this powerful woman chosen by the goddess for the goddess to embody, for her to embody the goddess so that the goddess could execute her will through her, which is to create an environment on Earth that is suitable for her reemergence. This is what Dr. June Moon has chosen to do. And instead of doing that, because she is still plagued with the malignancy of patriarchy, and what patriarchy requires from every woman is a willing, voluntary reduction and relinquishing of her power. That's what patriarchy requires. So what Dr. June Moon has to do is become the goddamn damsel in distress. Who is her hero? A redneck, unintelligent white boy who just happens to be the leader of a freaking mercenary team for the U.S. military. That's his only claim to power is the fact that he can shoot a weapon. That's all. So, Amy, who is the black woman, Amanda Waller, who is the black woman who is orchestrating this whole thing, you feel me? She deliberately partners this dumb white boy redneck carrying a gun with Dr. June Moon. He becomes the hero in their relationship, and she is the victimized. She is the victimized damsel in distress who has been possessed by a demon who controls her thoughts and her movements. Because patriarchy has taught her that she has not been gifted with the spirit of the goddess who has called on her to execute her personal will on earth. She can't see it that way because of the imposition of patriarchy in her consciousness. Through the imposition of this white boy in her freaking cipher, he is watching her every move. He's charged to, quote, protect her and guard her for Amanda. But in essence, Amanda knew that the damsel in distress would win. All she had to do was pull at this girl's heartstrings. You dig? I hope y'all following, because this deep shit I'm dropping on y'all. You can't even tell me I'm wrong once you see it. This girl goes into the middle of nowhere, jungle somewhere, the fuck in Central America, just happens to stumble upon the vessel containing the spirit of the murdered mother. Y'all ain't hearing me. This is old mythology, replayed to us over and over and over and over and over again to attempt to get us on board with the suppression of what is inevitable. The suppression of what is inevitable is her return on the fucking planet. This is her shit. You understand? So, anyway. So, okay, I want to talk about, remember I told you yesterday that the way that Amanda is controlling the enchantress, is through, she is holding her heart captive, right? This is the only way that she can control God's movements, is through her heart, is through holding her heart captive and traumatizing her heart. She has this electromagnetic pen or some shit, And every time the enchantress gets out of line, or she can see in her eyes that she's contemplating some things, she's plotting some moves, then Amanda will take this electromagnetic pin and stab at the heart. And then the heart's surface will break and light will shine out of it. Y'all ain't hearing what the fuck I'm talking about. The only way that Amanda can control God is to control her heart. You understand? Not only control her heart, but to repetitively traumatize her heart. Okay? Now, why is this significant? Because this too is old motif. Okay? Now, in Ayurveda, in Hinduism, when we talk about the chakra system, remember I was talking to y'all yesterday about Eshu. Calm the fuck on. Remember I was talking to y'all yesterday about Eshu being what? The ruler of the crossroads, the owner of the crossroads. Every decision that you make in life is a crossroads. So it's a left or a right, a forward or a backwards that you have to make, in order to complete your personal destiny. Well, the old motif. Okay, so I'm just coloring some shit real quick, and I'll be honest with you, like, even as I'm teaching you guys this, more is coming through. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this real quick because it's important. So yesterday, when I was talking to you guys about Eshu, and I was saying, Eshu is the owner of the heart, because the heart is always seen as the crossroads, right? Or the cross, right? Jesus at the heart, Mary at the heart, you understand? And there's symbology, like there'll be a fiery heart with a cross in it, you feel me? Or whatever. These are all ancient symbologies about the cross. In Chinese medicine, the cross is the fire. The heart is the fire element. In Ayurveda, let's see. In Ayurveda, the heart is green. The color of the heart in Ayurvedic medicine . I'm trying to improvise because it's important. And then one more, come on, work with me. Let me pull my shit together. Okay, I'm looking for one more thing. All right, hold on. Oh, here we go. So, in Ayurveda, the heart is green. Now, why is this important, and why is this important enough for me to stop mid-flow to demonstrate what I am talking about? That is the throat. That's the third eye. And then, and then that's kind of bluish. Whatever. Anyway, y'all will get the gist, okay? All right, so all right, so why am I stopping here? The green heart. This is how Amanda controls God. This is how Amanda controls the enchantress. Is she repetitive? Y'all are not hearing me. She repetitively traumatizes the heart of the enchantress to keep her in line. She doesn't just hold the heart. She doesn't just hold the heart hostage. She repetitively traumatizes the heart in order to maintain control over the goddess. Okay? Now, yesterday, I was showing you guys about Eshu being the owner of the heart chakra. Okay? Why did I say this is old motif? Because another movie that I really want to tear apart, y'all don't laugh, but Moana, the movie, Moana, Moana, right? That movie, I love it. I have the soundtrack and everything. But that movie is so deep. Like wormhole, bottom of the ocean floor, deep. Right? And because grown-ups don't watch shit with discerning eyes, we watch shit for entertainment. You feel me? People do not see how fucking incredibly, extraordinarily deep that movie was. But one of the things that stood out about that movie was that the heart of Tafiti, which was stolen by a demigod, because Tafiti is God. Tafiti is the god of creation. And so a demigod, her son, that's who Maui was. He's half her. He's half her. He's a demigod. Right? He's lower than her. She created him. Right? So this demigod, wanting to possess the power of his mother, murders her by stealing her heart. Y'all ain't here, but the fuck I'm telling y'all. And so he thinks that's it. That's all. It's just what it is. He does not know that in the instant that he has stolen the hearts of his mother, he has created a monster. He has created a monster. Who was the monster? The monster was his mother. Driven mad by her rage and her grief and her feeling of betrayal. And it is not until her heart is returned that she re-becomes God. Y'all ain't hear what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all ain't hear what the hell I'm talking about. Okay? Why the green heart? Because it's old motif. The heart chakra is green. Not only is it green, because even when you look at the heart of Tafiti in Moana, it isn't like earth green or wood green. It is brilliant, glowing, incandescent green. Just like in this movie with Dr. June Moon and the Enchantress. The heart isn't wood green or nature green. It is brilliant, bright, neon green. And every time she takes that electromagnetic pen and stabs that heart, light bursts out of it. Why? Right? Why? I'm telling you, everything is meticulous. Everything is deliberate. Every outfit, every article of clothing, every name of every character is always meticulously developed. Okay? The neon green heart it alludes to the electromagnetic power of the heart itself. It is this electromagnetic heart that creates the ability. What did Jesus say? I am the way and the light. No one can get to heaven. No one can communicate with heaven without going through me. The heart chakra, the physical heart, our human heart, the electromagnetic activity of the heart, now we know has more synaptic activity than the brain, and it is what generates our personal electromagnetic field that radiates out about 6 feet from us. That's why it's always brilliant green in the movie, bright green in the movie, light escaping it when it's struck. Child. And y'all think they just making some cool shit based on some old school comic books. Comic books are hieroglyphics. Okay, the numerology is important. I'm going to try to get to it, okay? I promise I'm going to try to get to it. Somebody asked me about the numbers. Okay, so Dr. June Moon, her ambition is, look, I'm about to set this shit off, all right? As a matter of fact, let me tell you what she said, okay? So after she resurrects her brother. Now in the movie, they make the relationship a sister-brother relationship. But the characters that they are embodying, and I'm talking about the mythological characters that they are embodying, the enchantress and incubus, are not the relationship of sister and brother. That relationship is of mother and son. That is the historical relationship that those mythological characters that they are playing is from, right? And you can go all the way back to ancient Babylon with the story of Inanna and her son Enki, and the betrayal of Enki towards his mother. In his sickness, in his madness, in his drunkenness and thirst for power, that finally, after years and years and years of abusing his mother and talking down to his mother and demoting his mother, he finally concludes that the only way he will be as powerful as his mother is to murder her. This is old motif, y'all. You hear me? Now, this mythological relationship between the enchantress and incubus is about incubus being personified as the bull of heaven, who is the son of the mother, right? Okay, so once she frees him, okay, something else I should tell you. So whenever you're watching a movie from this day to the end of time, whenever you see any, quote, bad guy, any bad guy, whether it's trolls or ogres or any kind of monster or any kind of bad guy who has horns, right? Horns. This is always 100% of the time alluding to your first of all, attempting to reinstate in your subconscious mind a fear and hatred of the dark mother. Because whenever you see a bad guy with horns, it is always alluding to the dark aspect, the crescent moon, which forms a horn. Okay, I'm looking at this anyway. The crescent moon always forms horns. And so every movie, every mythology, every comic book, every book ever written that has a bad guy with horns is alluding to the power of the moon goddess all the time. I know it was hard for me because I'm all, you know what I'm saying? We drink the Kool-Aid, we buy the bullshit. And so every time we see a bad guy with horns, that bad guy is a servant to the mother. The purpose of that image in any movie, in any book, is to, again, further deepen the separation between you and the mother. It is to further deepen and sharpen the separation, the fear that you have, the rejection that you have, the hatred that you have towards the dark mother and her imminent return. Okay? So I had to harp on that because you'll see it everywhere. These horns everywhere. Now, I'm telling you, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll see it everywhere. Every Harry Potter movie, every freaking King Arthur movie, everything. Lord of the Rings, you name it. Anybody got horns? They are a representative. They are a defender of the dark mother. The world that they are trying to create is a world where she can return. And what the philosophical hero of every movie is trying to do is to ensure that she never reigns again. That's Thor. That's Superman. I'm just telling you. You understand? So anyway, yeah. All right. So the next character, the last character we're still in character introduction. The last character that I need to introduce to you to is dragons. Yes, my namey. Dragons, anything serpentine, snakes, dragons. You see all these movies, and I've watched them all. You understand? Dragon Heart and this and this and this and this and this and this. The dragon is always 100, even if it's a male dragon, boo. Yes, even if it's a male dragon, is always a representation of the time when the matriarchy ruled the world, ruled the planet. The dragon is always symbolic for the matriarchy. So anyway, so let me just tell you about this last character, because I went hard on Dr. Junmu because she is really the center of the story. The baby Slipknot, I cannot forget about him. There's another girl. I'm gonna talk. I forget her name. Did I write it on here? I should have if I didn't. Damn, I don't. Man, maybe I didn't. That would be crazy. I might have to do another one. Oh, yep. Okay, she's in here. So there's another girl I'm gonna talk about in a minute. She is not an official part of the Suicide Squad because she, quote, ain't a bad guy. She is actually voluntarily working for the state. Okay, and I have to write that down. Okay. So, okay, the last character the last character of the Suicide Squad itself is Slipknot. Slipknot is Native. He is a Native American man who is able to climb. Like, he climbs shit damn near like a spider. You know, he like gets away, whatever. The white boy, Boomerang, who is an idiot, right? He is an opportunist. He's malignant. He's the one I told y'all yesterday. His claim to fame is like he'll hire people or he'll work people to do a job where they go get some loot. They go rob somebody or steal some shit. And then after they get the loot, he'll turn on the crew and kill them so that he can take the whole lot. Just no, you know, what do they say? There's no honor among thieves. He's the personification of that. So when Amanda tells the crew, this is what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna help me defeat the Enchantress. You feel me? And in exchange, I'm gonna take a few years off your prison sentences, because they ain't go to court. None of them went to court. They just got ghosted off the street and thrown in a dungeon somewhere. But I'll take a few years off the prison sentence or whatever. And then she said, and if you even think of trying to escape, if my lead guy, which is the redneck boy who is in love with Dr. Junmu, if he dies, y'all die. If y'all try to get away, you die. So they put this little chip in their neck, right? And the chip is attached to a trigger thing that the white boy got, right? And he can ghost them at any time. So this is how they control them, is this chip that they've implanted in their neck, okay? Slipknot, they're going on the scene to fight, quote, monsters, right? And Boomerang is manipulating Slipknot, but Slipknot don't peep game. You feel me? So Boomerang is like, look, I think this bullshit they got in our neck is bogus. I don't even think it's that deep. You feel me? And so in a minute, what I'm gonna do is blah blah blah. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna cause a distraction. You gonna get up out of here, and then you gonna come get the rest of us or some shit like that, right? So the Native brother Slipknot, he was like, bet, I got you. You feel me? And so trusting this dude who he don't know, this white boy he don't know, the white boy gives him the cue. When he creates the distraction, Slipknot takes his little rope things and tries to whoop, 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 and he's about to get away. And then all of a sudden, his head is blown the fuck off. Now, the only people that die in the movie up until this point is Common's character, who is the bad guy dude doing dealings with the Joker, who is the personification, I guess, of the mother's son, because he got the serpent and his third eye is illuminated and this, that, and the other. And then Joker murks him. You feel me? Another assault on the murder. Yeah, that's a man, but he's the embodiment of the mother. I'm telling you, I get this deep. You understand? Then you have this Native brother, Slipknot, right? First of all, how many natives you see in movies anyway? Anywhere, anyway. So in this movie, he's like, you know, the black guy in the horror movie. They never make it to the end. They barely make it through the middle of the shit. It was barely 20 minutes into the movie when Slip got murked. He's the only one of the Suicide Squad. He's the only character of the Suicide Squad that dies, is the native. Okay? I found that offensive and problematic. I was like, what? Okay. So anyway, when the Enchantress is talking to Incubus, she is when he comes to, I'm backtracking a little bit. When he is freed and he is embodying this black man, he's confused. He's weak and he's confused. And he's like, you know, where am I? What am I looking at? Because he's in a subway or something. He's like in a bathroom in the subway. He's like, what am I looking at? You know, where am I at? And she's explaining to him. She says, the humans have turned against us, the gods. The humans have turned against us. Now they worship machines. And she said, the humans have turned against us and now they worship machines. So I'm going to create a machine of my own and retake my shit. That's basically what she said. So get your strength up, get your juju up, get your power up, because I'm going to need all your strength while I create. That's what she said. Like, I'm going to be creating. You understand? I need you to watch my back while I do what I do, while I work magic, while I change the fucking face of the planet. That's what she said. Okay? Now, child, let me tell you. So the crew comes together because there's some Enchantress and her brother. After she resurrects him, they go instantly to work. Okay? And oh my God, Carlotta, yes. Carlotta, yes. Carlotta, yes. So Carlotta, for those of you who can't see, said, How to Tame Your Dragon is about taming the mother by the son, or the son taming the mother, subduing the mother. Yes. And it's not an accident that dragon is black as night. They call the dragon Midnight. Anyway, thank you for that. I'm about to take another bullet note. There might be another movie I gotta tear down. You feel me? So anyway, so when the crew is finally together, after everybody has been met, after everybody has been introduced, and after everybody has been released from prison, they are given the rundown about what they are being called to do and what the conditions are, right? Now, at this point, none of them have met Amanda. They've heard her, they've heard about her or whatever, the boss or whatever, but none of them have met her. So they're all in this pool. They're coming off of this plane where they all get together or whatever. The white boy, I can't remember this dude's name. The white boy who is leading the assignment, the white boy, redneck, gun-toting military dude who is the protector of Dr. June Moon, when he gets them all together and they're silent, the first thing this white boy says, and I want you to hear me, he pulls out a laptop, like a tablet. They're all standing in a single file line. This white boy says, "Behold the voice of God." He turns the iPad around, and it is Amanda speaking to them about what their assignment is supposed to be. I'm going to give y'all a moment. I'm going to need y'all to internalize that real quick. For those of you who weren't tuned in yesterday, when of all the people having the audacity to ask the only black woman in the movie is, what's her name? Harleyquinn, asks this white woman, asks this black woman, "Are you the devil?" Turn around 10 minutes later, and the white boy tells the group of superhumans, behold the voice of God. And it is this black woman that they are confronted with. Oh my God. Yo, anyway. Okay, y'all mind ain't blown. My mind was blown. You feel me? So anyway, Amanda is the God through whom he is referring. You understand? And then the logo, I made a little note about this too. So you remember I was telling you yesterday that the name of this clandestine project, spearheaded by Amanda under the direction of the United States government, under the Pentagon, is called Argus, Armed Revolutionaries Governing Under Secrecy. The Argus logo has a Latin quote around the perimeter that says "Noster querere incipiere, nostor caere incipere," which means our search begins. Now, these are side notes that I take. This is how I watch movies. You feel me? So I took a screenshot of the logo, looked up what the Nosto Querere Incipere means. Our search begins in Latin, right? However, I kept saying Argus sounds familiar. Argus sounds familiar. Where have I heard this name? Because Argus is based on Greek myth. Argus is based on Greek mythology. Argus was the watchman with 100 eyes, killed by Hieronymus, who was killed by Hieronymus. The eyes, when he killed Argus, right? He removed his eyes and used the eyes to decorate the feathers of the peacock. Argus was a giant, a security guard to the Olympians. The word Argus literally means in Latin, bright and all-seeing. Bright and all-seeing. Bright and all-seeing. He with 100 eyes, right? Now, okay, maybe I shouldn't get ahead. Okay, I shouldn't get ahead. Okay, this is just from my little search of taking a screenshot of the emblem, the emblem for Argus, this organization. Okay, now mind you, Argus was a giant who was a security guard to the Olympians. Who are the Olympians in this movie? Is it the metahumans? Nope. Who are the Olympians in this movie? Mon, Amy, Carlotta, Obasi. Somebody tell me who the Olympians are in this movie that the watchman is guarding. Come on, y'all. Let me know y'all with me. Nobody? The Olympians. What did I tell y'all yesterday? Come on now, y'all ain't fucking with me. What did I tell y'all yesterday about the duality between red and blue? Aside from it being a personification of Jesus Christ, who preceded Jesus Christ, that I told y'all yesterday, was the ruler, the owner of the colors red, white, and blue. Okay, maybe I'm too deep. Maybe I got too deep with this shit. The Olympians, that this secret clandestine organization who specifically took the name as Argus, the Greek god with 100 eyes, who was the security guard to the Olympians. The Olympians is the state, baby. It is the United States government, baby. That's who it is. It's the government. And this organization created by Amanda Waller to protect the state, to protect the United States government, right? This organization that she created, because she created it, right? She used this story to talk about the function of this organization that is set to do one thing and one thing only: to corral the power of superhumans, to corral the power of metahumans, for the sole purpose of exploiting that power to protect the fucking state. Not to fight power, not to free the people, you understand? Not to end world hunger or starvation. She creates this organization to protect the state. The state is the Olympians in this movie for whom Argos is protecting. God damn it. And to prove it so, Amanda is quoted as saying to the metahumans that she's controlling through this chip in their neck. Now, let me tell you about the chip in the neck. I'm telling y'all. Let me tell you about the chip in the neck. The place where they put the chip is an acupuncture point. Y'all know I'm an acupuncturist. So I see all this shit. You feel me? The place that they put the chip in the neck is called, it's due 14, but it's called, the point of 1,000 vessels. Due 14, back of the neck. The point of 1,000 vessels. It is the place where the head meets the neck. It is the place where the brain and the brain stem begin to control all of the body's movements through the spinal cord. The meeting point of heaven and earth. As a matter of fact, in Ifa tradition, that same point, due 14, in Ifa tradition, is the point of a shoe, the crossroads. It's not the vagus nerve. It's not the vagus nerve. I'm talking about the brainstem itself. I'm not talking about the cranial nerves. But a good guess. I'm going to do a whole show on the vagus nerve. But no, this is specifically about the brain's ability to control the rest of the body. This is the point where that is able to happen. This meeting point, this point of 1,000 vessels, according to Chinese medicine. This meeting point of a shoe, which is always consecrated whenever you do an offering to a shoe or to the deities, you tap the offering on this point. You tap the offering on your crown chakra. You tap the offering on your third eye. You tap the offering on your heart chakra. You tap the offering in the palms of your hand and in the bottoms of your feet, on the tops of your feet. But this point here is the crossroads. What? Between heaven and earth, on the spine. This point is the point of the meeting point of 1,000 vessels. Here she goes and puts this chip in the point of 1,000 vessels so that she can control the movement of everybody under her watchful eye. She says to them, after informing them of the chip and what it will do to them if they step the fuck out of line, and she says, you need know, I see all things. That's what she told them. I see everything. So don't fucking cross me. Don't cross me. I see everything. To continue. Enters at this point is this Japanese chick. Okay. Now the Japanese chick. Now we done talked about a shoe and a leg bar a lot in this shit. Okay. How the Japanese girl enters the scene with a white mask on, and her third eye on the mask is black and red. Black and red. Is this a coincidence? Did this shit just look cute? They just thought it was a neat costume idea. The face is white. The third eye illuminated on the mask is split in half. Red on one side, black on the other. Okay? She is wearing a red sash. Her name is Katana. Her sword, now she is the one I was telling you guys, is the willing volunteer in service to the state. Her role, particularly in this within the context of this group, the military, the suicide squads, and her, is she is the white boy redneck military dude's right-hand man, if you will, right? So he's telling, because she don't talk. Well, she talks, but she doesn't speak English. She's always mumbling in Japanese, right? She's always talking to her sword. And they're like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, why is she talking to her sword? Like, she, right? He says, nah, man. He was like, that sword traps, it's an ancient sword that traps the souls of every life that it takes. The reason that she talks to the sword is because the first person killed with this sword was her husband. So her husband too, his soul is trapped in the sword. So she talks to the sword like she meditating almost, right? And he said, just so y'all know, she ain't one of y'all. She over here with me. Let one of you get out of line and she'll cleave your head off. That's her only job, is to have my back, right? So anyway, so she enters the scene. Maybe there's another scene. I'll put this shit in quotes. So there's this subtle but ever emerging and ever intensifying what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tenuousness, if you will. This competition between Will Smith's character, Deadshot, and the white guy who is the official leader of the crew, both the military and the Suicide Squad. He's the man, right? He and Deadshot, now the thing about Deadshot's character, and I don't know if it's because it's Will Smith, but they write Deadshot's character as, even though he is a hitman, an assassin, that he's a hitman with a conscience. He's a hitman with a moral code. Yeah, this is what I do for a living. I kill people, but you know, I have a daughter. I love her. I don't do terrible stuff to everybody. Only people I get paid to do terrible stuff with, too. You feel me? So there is, while they're on the plane going to this location to fulfill this task that they have to fulfill, which is supposed to be, in their understanding, rescuing some scientists who got trapped in this brigandage that's happening downtown, across town, right? So in the plane, they having a little tit for tat because the white boy say something sideways to Will Smith, and Will Smith is like, yo, you can judge me all you want, nigga, but we the same. You and I are the same military guy, decorated military guy. We the same. You kill people for money, I kill people for money, right? So the dude is mad that Deadshot has equated their occupations to one another. And he says, I am not like you. I am a soldier. You are a serial killer who takes credit cards. I ain't getting no feedback from y'all. I ain't getting no response, no reaction from y'all. How is that not deep? This white boy tells Deadshot, when Deadshot said, boy, we got the same occupation. I just do it for private people. You do it for the government. He's like, we got the same occupation. We both kill people for money. This dude saying, no, I'm a soldier. You a serial killer who takes credit cards. This reasoning is so fascinating and so accurate. So accurate. That hidden behind a flag and a bullshitting ass philosophy is masses and masses and masses of hired killers. But they are exempted from their behavior as long as they do the state's bidding. Y'all ain't heard. As long as they do the bidding of the United States government, they are exempt from being held accountable for mass murder. Or mass rape, or whatever they do when they go into some colored people land under the guise of fighting for freedom and democracy and steal everything and murder everybody and rape everybody and sell the kids off into the sex slavery. That's real. You feel me? Okay. So I thought that was important. Now a little bit more deep. So I pay attention to everything. So there was a scene where the enchantress. So what is happening is the enchantress has gotten free from the grips of Amanda. Amanda still has her heart, but she has eluded Amanda. Right? And then she done already like commits to creating an army. Now let me go back to the Argus story. The Argus is the giant with 100 eyes who is the security guard for the Olympians. Okay. Fast forward when the enchantress gets free and is commencing to creating an army to prepare to make this machine. She needs a crew to watch her back while she is freed up to create the machine that is going to change the future. Okay? So what she does is the military, the police guard, the police, anybody that comes into contact with her in the early stages, she takes their face and kisses them. And in kissing them, they are transformed to us to something that looks like ghouls or goblins or something. But if you look closely, like these disfigured goblin guys with like bubbles on their face, that's what they look like when you first look. They look like bubbles. But when you look up close, they look like hundreds of eyes. Their whole head turns into hundreds of eyes. The nodding of the reverse of Amanda's Argos. Amanda's Argos, right? Amanda's organization set to protect the Olympians from superhumans who would like to use their own power for their own interest. Here, the moon goddess transforms humans into all-seeing metahumans that serve only her and only to protect and cover her and free up space for her while she creates the machine that is going to transform the future. Tell me I'm reading too deep into it. You feel me? Hold on. It's the comparison of who Deadshot kills compared to who the military guy. Deadshot only kills men, no women, no children. Come on through then, mon ami. Yes. That's an important distinction to mention. Because Deadshot says, I only kill people. He even said, I only kill people who deserve it, right? Now, in his mind, if somebody's hiring somebody else, to kill somebody, hiring him to kill somebody, they must have deserved it. They must have had it coming, right? And yeah, so that's a good distinction to make. I appreciate that. So anyway, she creates the opposition of what Amanda has created. Amanda has created a team of watchmen to protect the Olympians. The goddess has created a team of watchmen whose faces literally look like 100 eyes to protect and defend the mother while she works, while she creates. You understand? So, in this creation process, so right now, all she's doing, she got these men lined up in a single file line. She kisses them. They are transformed into soldiers with these 100 eyes. Okay. There's a scene where all of the Suicide Squad dudes are walking down the street and they walk past this building. Now, at this moment, I'm paying attention to everything. I'm leaving nothing to chance. So they walk by this building and the picture only lasts a second. But I was like, why would they make a point of doing that? So I went back, paused the frame so I could take a picture of a building that they passed this building. Just looks like a basic federal building. They walk through the street, this downtown area, there's a building. And it wasn't even clear. On the building, there is a name over the front door, right? And I was like, you know what? Let me just Google the name. It may not be anything. It may be something. Baby, how I Googled the name. The name was John F. Ostrander Federal Building. That was the name of the building. John F. Ostrander Federal Building. John F. Ostrander is the author of the Suicide Squad comic books. So I was like, oh, that's cool. That's my first instinct. Oh, that's cool. They gave him a little nod, put his name on a building in the movie, whatever. Someone was like, go deeper. That's not just cool. It's not just cute. And it's not just like a little nod at the author. Research this dude. So I paused the movie, y'all. And I wiki John F. Ostrander to find out who this dude was. Okay? As the author of the Suicide Squad comics. John F. Ostrander studied theology with the intent of becoming a priest. He went to seminary. You understand? He went to seminary. So I was like, oh, here is a Catholic priest, for all intensive purposes, studying to become a priest who suddenly decides not to become a priest and become a comic book artist instead, spilling the deepest secrets that the Vatican has held hostage in its catacombs, if you will. What does white boy know about Eshu? What does this white boy know about Oshun? What does this white boy know about any of this stuff as a seminary trained man with the intent of becoming a priest? They know more about our shit than we know. So, none of this is a coincidence in this movie. His allusion to Deadshot. Listen, Eshu over and over and over again in this movie in different characters, personifications in different characters. Okay, so that's him. All right, so let me look at my time check. How long I've been on here? Damn, an hour already? Come on, man. Okay, so damn, there's so much more I want to talk to y'all about. I still ain't gonna finish. All right, I'll do this shit till 1:30 and see if I can finish. If not, I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, so the next thing. So while that's happening, film change, screen change, scene change, you feel me? Now it is this kind of, what do you call it? What do you call it when you see a scene that kind of like goes back in time, like a flashback of a moment in time? So the Harley Quinn is having a flashback because this whole time she is longing for her boo. Okay, she thinks he's dead. She longing for her boo. She longing for the Joker, and she's having a flashback of a moment in their life. The flashback. This is deep, y'all. Because again, I told y'all the reason that I got into this movie was because I'd spent the previous 6 hours wormhole diving into the dichotomy of red and blue. This was one of the places in this movie the next day that I was like, oh my God, I've seen this movie 100 times. How did I never see this? Because I wasn't conditioned to see it. I wasn't programmed to see it. I didn't have the ability to see it. until I saw it, right? So this is the moment in her flashback where she is becoming the new her, Harley Quinn. Right now, she is a doctor. She has just helped her man escape the psychiatric hospital. They are on a platform in a warehouse, and below them, under the platform, is several vats of neon green toxic sludge. Whatever it is neon green, is bubbling. It looks like slime. It's gross. Okay, they're standing above it. These vats, they're standing above it, and he is doing basically a mantra with her. He is telling her, he's asking her, "Are you with me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm with you." He's like, "Nah, man, are you really with me?" "Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, right? I'll follow you anywhere. I'll die for you." He said, "You would die for me." She said, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." And he looks down at the vat of toxic neon green sludge. To prove her allegiance to him, she takes a nosedive into the vat of neon green toxic shit. When she jumps into the shit, you know how when you dive in, there'll be swirls of water, or liquid around you, swirls, right? When she jumps in, the green shit, the swirls around her are blue. In the liquid, the swirls around her are blue. I never noticed it. Joker is about to walk off like that. Dumb bitch, like she really just jumped in that bullshit. That's the look on his face. He walks off like he gonna leave her. Then he was like, now I'm paraphrasing because he don't say nothing, right? But the look on his face and how it transforms, I know men, I know y'all. You understand what I'm saying? And so she jumps into the stuff. He turns his back. He commits to walking. He about to leave. And he's like, "You stupid motherfucker. Like, how's she just gonna jump in the neon green shit because I asked her if she would die for me or some shit?" Then he thought about it. He was like, "I don't know, though. That's some gangster shit. Like, that motherfucker right there is a real ride or die. Literally." So he turns around and jumps into the pool of shit after her. When he dives into the shit, his swirls in the neon green shit are red. The camera is as if the camera is in the shit with her looking up to the surface as he dives in and dives straight down to retrieve and rescue his boo. Now, the girl is dead. He retrieves her and they both penetrate the surface. Okay? When they penetrate the surface at the same time, the swirls around her are red. The swirls around him are blue. He goes to give her mouth to mouth or kiss her. It looks like either. When he kisses her or gives her mouth to mouth, she takes a deep breath and her eyes open. When that motherfucker's eyes opens, the red and blue swirls around them transform to purple. When I say that everything is deliberate, even something as seemingly insignificant as the color of the swirls when they're making waves coming out of liquid, I was like, oh my God. How did I not see this? The swirls are blue when the broad jumps into shit. When the hero jumps into shit, the chosen one, because what did I tell y'all the red represents in the Bible? God's chosen people. The chosen. The blue represent who? The Gentiles. The throwaways. those that are outside the God, that are outside of the sight of God. Everybody else. So when this broad jumps in the water, the neon green toxic waste, the swirls are blue. He has to make a decision about whether or not he wants to spare her life. He has the power. He jumps in the hero, descends, retrieves, comes up. She is dead. Therefore, the swirls are still blue and red. It is not until the unification of the red and blue. What did I tell you? In the Bible, red and blue together always are a foretelling of the unification and the end of separation. The two come together in this mouth-to-mouth resuscitation process. She is resurrected. Like who? Like Christ. Therefore, they are both shrouded in purple swirls once she regains her breath. Y'all think this shit is innocent. Anyway. She comes up, jumps in after red and blue, whatever. Once she is awakened or reborn, the red and blue become purple, the tabernacle and the temple veil, the Gentiles now being worthy of salvation, the Gentiles. And it is also alluding to that in this moment, the hero is Joker. And the Joker is diabolical, wicked, evil, maniacal, fucked up in a narcissist, fucked up in every possible way. But because he is God's son, he represents God's son in this scene. Because he is God's son, there is no wrong he can do. There's no wrong he can do. You see, he is the hero, and that is all that matters. And once he gives this girl life, she is now worthy of salvation. Oh my God. The whole mission. Okay, so the mission that the Suicide Squad is on, that Amanda gives them, they don't know what the mission is, right? They say they've been told it's a search and rescue mission for a team of scientists who got caught in the crossfire of the brigandage being created by the moon goddess. You feel me? By Enchantress. So when they get, they're surmounting, this terrain with the little 100-eyed guys that the goddess has created. They go into battle and they're doing this and all this shit, right? When they finally arrive to the place where they think they're supposed to be picking up a team of scientists, right? I'm sorry, let me backtrack 1 second. This scene where Joker and the girl are doing this death and resurrection scene, he says to her before she dives in, desire becomes surrender, and surrender becomes power. That's the fuck. Desire becomes surrender, and surrender becomes power. Listen, that's why we all out here afflicted, accepting in fucking romantic relationship shit we ain't got no business accepting. Surrendering to madness, surrendering to narcissism, surrendering to toxic fucking relationships, because in the mind of one who has surrendered to Christ, who has surrendered to patriarchy, the representation or the representative in our personal relationship, in our personal union, if the man is the head of the household who embodies the temple of Christ, then he can do no wrong in this relationship. And our best bet as women is to surrender to his malignancy as the representative of Christ in our personal relationship. He says desire becomes surrender and surrender becomes power. That the only way that you can get power is in your relationship with me. And don't we believe it? Don't we believe it? We hold on tight to malignant motherfuckers because we are not valid without them. We are not useful without our proximity to them. So we accept madness because we see our validity as tied to the men that we are in relationship with. We take a goddamn nosedive into toxic waste to prove our loyalty. Shall look. Anyway, now let me go back to the other thing. All right. So after that, they go on the mission. They think they're going on a mission to save a team of scientists. When they get to the place where they're about to go rescue these scientists or whatever, the whole mission, listen, the whole mission of these meta-humans fighting through, quote, monsters and bombs and explosions and shit. The whole mission was to rescue God/the devil. Listen, who is God/the devil in this movie? It's Amanda. Now, I'm going to have to do some more on this because Amanda's character, they paint her out to be this diabolically wicked, whatever, right? Terrible human, working for the state. That's an aspect of it. But if Amanda, like she says in the movie, I see everything. Behold the voice of God, this Black woman. I see everything, this Black woman. Are you the devil, this Black woman, right? When they arrive and they think they rescuing some scientists who gonna save the world, and they open the door and they see that they are there to rescue one Black woman, they mad. Now, we can say that they're mad because this Black woman has held them hostage to exploit their power for the interest of the state, and that would be valid. However, what is the deeper symbology of this scene was she called them. She made the call. She said, this is what you are going to do because I say so, and I have created you. She created the team. She created Argos, and she controlled their every move. Why? How? Through controlling the HU point, through controlling the point of 1,000 vessels. Huh? Y'all ain't hearing. So when they get there, now mind you, the clique is a white woman, a Black man, a Mexican man, a white man, an Asian woman, a crocodile man, and an Aussie. Because the native man's been killed at this point. So everybody in some way demographically is represented in the Suicide Squad, through whom is controlled by this Black woman who is both God and the devil at the same time. Now, to me, what this speaks to is, now it might have to be something that I do on a different day. But in Ifa tradition, there is this concept called the Iyami, which is the mothers. Okay, the mothers is this concept that is used to embody singularly all of the energy of the mothers, the celestial mothers, the ancestral mothers, the ancient mothers, the living mothers, potential mothers. This embodiment of the generative force, the creative dynamic power of mothers, right? This is what we call the Iyami. But the Iyami is like your mom. Your mama is wonderful. She's laughing, she's happy, she's smiling, she loves you, you her baby, she gives kisses, she gives hugs, she makes you food, she takes care of you, she wipes your butt. This is the Iyami. They love us, and all they want is to see us happy, right? They are fed by our joy. But just like your mama, if you try her motherfucking nerves long enough, you disrespect her just seriously enough, she'll crack you upside your head, pop you in your mouth, pop you on your butt to lead you back into right way. This is the Ayer. This is the punishing aspect, or the punishing personification of the Iyami. So the Iyami is wonderful, loving, joyful, blah, 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 blah. But don't cross them. Don't disrespect them. Don't cross them. Or that flip side they got will come to the surface and shake shit up. This is the Iyami Ayer, this concept. Just like Eshu and the Legba. Gentle, loving, fun, happy, excited. But if you don't take care of the baby, a Legba, Eshu will come out and start wreaking havoc on your shit. This is the duality of all things in life, right? So it was no accident that this girl, this white girl, Harleyquinn, had to be the one to ask in the beginning, are you the devil? And then later on, she tells her, and then the white boy, so the white woman says, are you the devil? Then the white man says, behold the voice of God. The white woman called her the devil. The white man said, behold the voice of God. This bitch control all y'all lives. She make all the calls. She make all the moves. I'm just living in her world to serve her. That's what the white boy said without saying it. But that's what he said. She the one. What she say is what I do. That's what I do. That's what I execute. She does that by controlling his heart, the same as she controls the heart of the enchantress. So the whole mission was to go to save God, was to go to rescue the devil. And the black dude, Deadshot, is mad. He is like, this is, I forget what he said, but he said, this is some bullshit, right? So now this is a rescue mission. Shit is falling apart around them. They got to get a helicopter to come to the roof so they can get away. You feel me? When she takes the walkie-talkie to hail her ride, I'm telling y'all think I'm thinking about this shit too deep. But as soon as I saw it, they confirm it. They are mad because they had to come rescue, quote, God / the devil, right? When she gets on, just a few seconds later, gets on the walkie-talkie to hail her helicopter ride, guess what the CB call is? Savior 10. I'm telling y'all. She said, Savior 10 in. You're like, Savior 10? What's your blah, 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 blah? What's your location? She tells them. They're like, okay, we'll be there in a minute or whatever the fuck. Her call name is Savior 10. Y'all ain't hearing me. Shit. Anyway. So, so there is, okay, so there is this, so now there is this dichotomy in the movie because the Suicide Squad is supposed to be made up of a bunch of, quote, bad guys, a bunch of derelicts who would be removed from society and nobody would notice because all they did was dirt, right? They hidden away in fucking specially made cages and shit for themselves or whatever. So the movie Suicide Squad is about quote, bad guys, right? But bad guys in this movie isn't kind of like a black or white thing, because in the mind of the Suicide Squad, who even as they've done bad shit are being victimized by the state, they are still victims of the state. So they can be bad guys and still be victimized by the state, like Harley Quinn. All these police officers jumped her, beat the shit out of her, strapped her to a chair, and was force feeding her through her fucking nose with a syringe. They were brutalized. They were torturing her. Right? But we don't feel no kind of way about it because she's laughing through it because, you know, she's supposed to be, quote, crazy. You feel me? So even as they are, quote, bad guys, they are still being victimized by the state. Two things can be true at the same time. So they bad guys, you feel me? Then we get, you know, emotionally invested because, you know, Amanda is diabolical. She wicked. And the thing that she is wicked for is something that we think is unjust anyway. So here, this Black woman is defending the state, the Pentagon, right? So she's a bad guy where we're concerned, right? We are made to feel empathy for Deadshot, even though he's an assassin, because we understand the inherent diabolical nature of good old boys, because it couldn't be, you know, like a intellectual soldier. It had to be somebody that would be easy for us to not like. It had to be a good old boy, white boy with a little attitude, carrying a weapon for us in this contest between Deadshot and this white boy, you feel me, to side our empathy with Deadshot, who is an assassin, bad guy, right? But the white boy is inherently, quote, a bad guy in our understanding, in our mind, in our psychology, in our training, and in our conditioning, right? So that's happening. All of these kind of crazy dynamics, bad guy versus bad guy, which bad guy group is worse? You understand? Like you're now weighing the lesser of two evils in this movie. Oh, you think this is an accident? Well, they both bad guys. Like, oh, which do we like more and which do we like less? Right? And the line between the diabolicalness of each side is so blurry that it's hard for us to kind of take a side or take a position. Is this an accident that this happens this way? So, this face-off between bad guys and bad guys. This face-off between bad Black woman and bad white woman. Harley Quinn or Amanda Waller. And then between the two of them trying to decide who is the, quote, worst bad guy, is the moon goddess herself creating. Y'all can squabble amongst yourselves. I got shit to do. You feel me? She, even though they have called her and categorized her and even tried to weaponize her as a metahuman through whom can be manipulated through her heart to do the bidding of the state, she didn't already, listen, already in the movie, she didn't already got free, then released her brother and went straight to work. That bullshit y'all on over there, y'all got it. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. She is not involved in any of these dynamics that's happening between the Suicide Squad and Argos under the leadership of Amanda Waller. She ain't involved in none of the conversations, none of the conflict, none of that shit. She's like, look, while y'all over here squabbling about some bullshit, bitch, I'm over here trying to change the world. Y'all done fucked it up. We've been asleep for a few thousand years. We come out here, y'all done fucked the world up and shit. Me and my brother got to go to fucking work right away. As soon as we wake up, bitch, we ain't even got no time to take a nap. We gotta clean this shit up. And we have to do it in a way that you motherfuckers recognize the face of God when you see it. That's what she was doing. You feel me? So she over here creating shit. Meanwhile, they over here squabbling about who the worst bad guy. The red bad guys or the blue bad guys. Right? Now, so now they're talking to Diablo, because this whole time they've been in two skirmishes and Diablo ain't put no fight in the game. They're like, damn, we out here getting our ass kicked, man. Can you strike a match, bitch? Can you use your power to help us? We getting overrun by goblins and shit. And you just like, I can't do it. You know, I promised I was never going to use my power again, this Mexican man. I swore I was never going to use my power again. You feel me? Y'all got it. Y'all doing all right. And so Will Smith tries him. He was like, nigga, you ain't about that life. You ain't. I think your shit overrated. You know what I'm saying? He like, you know, he's egging him on because they're getting overrun, right? Diablo says to them, he was like, I ain't y'all. I'm not y'all. He was like, I was born with the devil's gift. That's what he said. I was born with the devil's gift. And I kept it hidden. The older I got, the stronger it got. That's what he's telling the crew. He's like, I'm not like y'all. Yeah, y'all all can do cute shit. And I'll be honest. Ain't but two of the people in the clissy. Ain't but three of the people in the suicide. Ain't but two people in the Suicide Squad, true metahumans. That's Croc, and that's Dion. Let me retract that. Ain't but one person in the Suicide Squad, a metahuman. That's Croc, with his mutation that turns him amphibious and shit. You feel me? Diablo and the Enchantress are not metahumans. They are gods. I'll get to that later. But there ain't but one metahuman. Everybody else that's in the Suicide Squad that has been categorized as metahumans are people who are just good at what the fuck they do. Deadshot is an excellent shot. He do not miss, but he has no powers. He is just a great shot. That's all. Harley Quinn, she might be a zombie, as you know, as the technical word means. You know, she was dead and then she was not dead, right? And she's handy with a bat. Like, she goes to work. Metahuman, no? Nope. She ain't got no powers. Boomerang, he's good at what he do. No powers. Slipknot, he ain't got no powers. He just excellent at what he does. Right? That's it. But the metahumans, Croc is the only metahuman. Then, as you will find out in a minute, about Enchantress, who they've already reduced as a metahuman, Diablo, who they have reduced to a metahuman, and he's so down on himself about what he did in a fit of rage that he just don't want to use his power at all, right? He only sees his power as destructive, right? Well, when they finally creep into the room because they have to go into this building with this at the center of this cloud that she has created of machinery so she can create this generator that she's trying to create, right? When they find her, they walk into the room, right? How is Enchantress creating this machine that is going to change the world, is going to change the face of the planet? Enchantress is dancing the spell. She is dancing the machine into existence. I'm not exaggerating. This bitch is like, her whole body, fully embodied. She is dancing the spell, dancing the machine into existence. Even when she begins to speak to them, when they come into the room, right? And they're like, you know, she's on this platform. She's on a stage. Dancing the shit into existence, right? And when they walk into the room, the first thing that she says when she opens her mouth, this is their first meeting, first time she see them, first time they see her. Enchantress looks straight at Diablo, no one else. She says to him while she's still dancing, how long have you been able to see? And he says to her, my whole life. My whole life. She saw him instantly. She saw that he was unlike the others instantly. She said, how long have you been able to see? And then she says to the group, why do you serve those that would enslave you? She's still talking. They talking. You feel me? She's still doing her thing. Y'all ain't about to get me off my square. Because even as I'm trying to recruit y'all, even as I'm trying to win y'all to my position, I'm going to get this shit done. She's still dancing the spell. She's still dancing. Shit flying up around her to contribute to the machine while she's talking to them. How long have you been able to see? My whole life. Why do you serve those who would enslave you? Who? That's what she said. Why do you serve those that would enslave you? We are the future, and I know what your heart desires. She going. And then when she says, I see what your heart desires, each one of the Suicide Squad people start to have a vision that she is planting in their mind of their deepest heart's desires fulfilled. They see it clearly. She going. Harley Quinn sees a life as a glorified housewife with a baby, with 2 babies, and her boo transformed into a regular everyday dad / businessman, taking care of business. Deadshot sees his baby and him living together. She going. She's playing, baby, she is simultaneously initiating a propaganda campaign in the minds of each one of them. This is what I can do for you. I can give you all that you desire and all you need. Listen. Oh my God. She says, I can give you all that your heart desires. All that your heart desires. All your wishes fulfilled. And all you need do is but kneel to me. Right? Now, when it comes to initiating a propaganda campaign into the mind of Diablo, he sees a vision of his wife, coming on to him saying, baby, when we put the babies to bed, maybe we can have a little fun. You feel me? The babies are in the living room playing video games, laughing and giggling. She's like, let me go put the babies to bed so we can have some fun. You feel me? He rejects. Now everybody else is like, damn, this is nice. Damn, this vision nice. I mean, what are our options? To work for the state and get a few years taken off a life sentence in prison? Or to allow the mother to fulfill our deepest heart's desires? What should I choose? And they was like, damn, this alternative over here is seeming kind of nice. You feel me? So they ate in it. They are deep in their vision. Diablo sees this vision of his wife and his children for whom he has killed. And he snaps out of his vision. He was like, this ain't real. This ain't real. They can't come back. They can't come back. You can't bring them back. Boy, don't you see that I am God? I can bring them back. Child, I can bring them back. He says, no one can do that. No one can do that. And so he snaps the others out of their vision. Because they was one. They was like, this ain't even a choice. Like, what we doing? Yes, they got a chip in that neck talking about they gonna blow our brains out if we don't get with the program. You feel me? She's saying we can have everything our hearts desires and all we got to do is take the knee, bend the fucking knee. It ain't even no question. It ain't even no question. Diablo intervenes and says, this ain't real. She can't do that. Whatever. So they, quote, snap out of the spell that she has cast on their minds. And now they become patriots again. To continue to do the bidding of the state. Okay? Now, so now I have to go off memory because I guess that's where I stopped taking notes and I meant to go back. Okay, so so that's happening. Now let me tell you. Okay, so one of the notes that I put here is the black man as her brother, who is the son, that's the S-O-N, her brother. Remember I told you, even though they're sister and brother in this movie, it is alluding to the original story, which is the moon goddess, who is Inanna, right? Mother, queen of heaven. Inanna is the queen of heaven, the creator goddess, right? And her son, and her son, the S-O-N, who is always emblematic of a bull. Why? Because the queen of heaven is Venus. The bull is Taurus, for whom Venus rules. The queen of heaven is Venus. The bull with the horns is ruled by Venus. Venus is also synonymous with the moon goddess, you guys. The queen of heaven is Inanna, is symbolized by Venus, who rules Taurus. Taurus in astrology is the Garden of Eden. Is the Garden of Eden. Okay? So the black man, who is her brother / son, he serves her. Okay? Diablo serves the black woman as the creator of, this other organization. He, Diablo, is a representation of the sun god, the Aztec sun god. Because what happens is in this scene where Diablo snaps everybody out of the trance that they're under for this beautiful future that the goddess had promised him, and he can't have, in his mind, he can't have the future he wants because he done killed his peoples. So he mad, and he wins the crew to his position. Now in this scene, because the goddess did not attack them. She didn't attack them. When they walked up in the clique and disturbed her process, she didn't attack them. She's like, why ain't y'all over here on this side? These motherfuckers don't care nothing about y'all. They about to put y'all in a hole and got y'all here against y'all will trying to fight me. Join me. I got you. And then she gives them the vision that they want to see about what their life can be, about what their future can be, which is happy and blissful and all the great things, right? So when she shows them that, what's her name? Now, mind you, okay, so when Amanda enters the scene, she captures Amanda and puts her under a spell to extract her power. This is the Enchantress. So she got Amanda off in the cut and her essence being drained to use her power. She recognizes that this bitch is powerful. So I'm gonna put her over here and extract everything that I can from her. Y'all, look, y'all got a choice. Bend the knee. That's all I asked you to do. I ain't even asked you to kill nobody yet. Just bend the fucking knee. Submit to the will of the goddess. That's all. Right? Do for me what you've been doing for somebody else for forever and not being valued in the process. Do for me what you've always been doing for somebody else. Bend the knee. I'll give you what you want. We are the future. She says this to metahumans. She says, we are the future that they fear. That's what she said. We are the future that they fear. Why would you serve those who enslave you? We are the future. Let me show you. Then she shows them. Diablo, in his feelings, because he doesn't believe that God can do what she says she can do, throws a temper tantrum, wins the clique. He was like, I might have lost my family, but this is my new family. The degenerates over here, the Suicide Squad. This is my new crew. This is my new family. And I fight for my family. Now, all of a sudden, he ain't had no play in the game, but all of a sudden, he about to be the superhero. He about to save the whole clique, right? And then when Will Smith snaps out of the vision that she has given him of the life that he can have, they are witnessing this God transform the planet in real time with their actual eyes, and still cannot be won to the world being better under the mother. So when he snaps out of this beautiful vision, she did not give them end of the world scenario visions. She didn't do that. She didn't give them Book of Revelation visions, world exploding, wars and rumors of wars and pestilence and plague and death and brigandage. She didn't give them none of that shit. The vision that she gave them was the contrary, which was joy and happiness and bliss and a world where dreams are fulfilled easily and without effort. This is the vision that she gave him, and he rejected it. Not only did he reject it, when he snapped out of the vision, this man whose occupation is to end the life of others says to her, "Lady, you are evil." That's what he says to her. "Lady, you are evil." He doesn't say that to Amanda. He doesn't say that to the white boy who is holding them hostage. He doesn't say that when he sees the Joker. But to the lady who presumes to have the audacity to call herself God, she evil. You feel me? So then, I'm getting to the end. We just gonna push through. So then, Diablo makes his stand. He wins the crew. But then, Harley Quinn was like, "I don't know, guys. I mean, I kind of like what she's offering. You know, it's better than the alternative. I mean, what do I got to go back to? Right? I mean, it sounds really good." And so she's walking over to the Enchantress as if she about to sign up with the crew. Like she about to team up with the winning side. You feel me? So she goes over to the Enchantress, and the Enchantress, she's been dancing this whole time. She's like, "Y'all ain't about to get me off task. I can still deal with y'all and do what I'm doing. I'm still trying to change the world out of this bitch. Feel me? Yes, child, come to me. Kneel, take a knee, dear, and I will fulfill all your dreams." Right? So Harley Quinn approaches her and feigns like she's going to kneel. And then, in the sickness and the madness and the conditioning of patriarchy that presents itself all the time as a deep hatred and self-loathing of all that you are as a woman, she betrays the mother, picks up a sword, and attempts to slay her. I'm going to stop right here. I know y'all mad, but y'all been hanging on for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and finish rewatching the end of this movie so I can do, because the end of the movie, I don't want to gaze through it. I don't want to blaze through it, because that scene where the crew, the Suicide Squad, comes out of the vision that the Enchantress has implanted in each one of their brains, and then Diablo makes his hardcore stance on the side of the state, baby. The Aztec sun god makes a decision to side with the United States government. That's what he did in that moment. You understand? So I'm going to stop there, because there's still about a good 5 hefty minutes of the movie after that. And they are impactful. And I don't want to Gaia gods, yes. Diablo. Hey, but look, when I first watched the movie and I saw Diablo's final form, I was screaming at the TV, like, oh my God. But there's something so much deeper in that scene than just the majesty of his final form, baby. And I missed it every time I saw that movie until I did this deep dive on the duality of the red and blue. And in these final 5 minutes, that's when it all is personified in a very clear statement that I am sure we all missed. So I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, will do yet another part 3 on the deep dive into the spiritual, mythological, occult, and political symbology of the wonderful movie by DC Comics, by DC Comics, The Suicide Squad. Thank you, Mon Amy. Listen. The deeper I go, the deeper I get. And sometimes I'm like, okay, is it over people's heads? That's why I be asking for feedback. Because sometimes I'm like, do I just sound like I'm rambling? But I'm telling you to be able to see that which is not intended for you to see. And who is the you? It is regular everyday people. It is colonized people. It is those who who have not realized their personal power. These messages are not for us. So the messages are for us. The messages are for our conditioning. The messages for those that are in power is the same, but it is to their advantage. It is like every movie is like a blueprint for how to continue to colonize and to how to it is a blueprint for how to colonize people, how to maintain hegemony over people, and then the entertainment value that we get as the colonized mindless watchers, that those messages continue to inform a repetition of our behavior, which is subjugation, which is acceptance of that which we should not accept, right? Which is that shit's always been like this, so it's always going to be like this and can't nothing change, right? So that's why it's important. How I don't tell people not to watch movies. What I tell people is to learn how to watch movies. That way you can still be entertained. You can still get the entertainment value. I love this movie. I think it's great. But I think what's doper is that I see everything. I see everything. And I'll be honest, it is my hyper-Christian father who taught me how to watch movies. It wasn't the party. It wasn't the African People's Socialist Party. It wasn't my time in the Ifa tradition. It was my father, my whole young life, sitting with us while we were watching TV. You know it didn't happen that way. You know that's not right. You know that's not real. See that right there? It didn't happen like that. Right? My dad taught that to me. Why did you do that to me? He did that for me because even though he did not know, it was the fulfillment of a destiny that was peculiar to me. See, Spirit knew that I would be doing this. Spirit knew that it would be important for people to be able to learn how to see what is happening to them in real time through these images that are fed to us, through these sounds that are given to us. This is real shit, y'all. Y'all can believe it or not believe it, but I'm telling you, it's there. All media is the non-violent arm of the state. And the objective, the only sole objective of the state is to win. That's it. That's all. So it can be seemingly progressive. It can be a documentary. It can be what, it doesn't matter. As long as the state exists, all media is the nonviolent arm or apparatus of the state. And the objectives of the state is always the same. It is to win. It is to win. So, I'm going to stop there. It shouldn't take, hopefully, but about 30 minutes to at tops an hour tomorrow for me to complete this walk that we've been doing through the movie Suicide Squad. So I would encourage you, watch it tonight. I'm going to have to, because I have to go back with fresh eyes, finish out the movie and see if there's anything that I missed. And until then, so I'll do it again. Tomorrow is tomorrow's Memorial Day. But I have some volunteer work I'm doing tomorrow. So it won't be 1 o'clock tomorrow. So just be mindful of that. Tomorrow I have to do volunteer work till 1 o'clock. So it'll probably be closer to 3 or 4 Pacific Standard Time when I do this. So I have time to get home and get myself prepared and come back to finish out my breakdown of the Suicide Squad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for those of you who stuck it out to the end. I know it was long, but baby, this shit was exciting to me. Everything I saw, I was just mind blown. So I'll also work this week on trying to go ahead and launch my YouTube channel that is specifically for my dissection on movies, because I already have a whole list that I've been working on. The Matrix, Moana. This is going to be funny, but Frozen. I have grandkids, so I still watch all the cartoons and kids movies, and there's deep wormhole, rabbit hole, deep ass shit in kids movies. The Last Mimsy is another one I'm going to do soon. If you haven't seen it, get your life right. The Last Mimsy. So I'll do that. I'll post a list of movies that are coming up that I'm going to dissect. And I'll dissect them the same way. The philosophical, spiritual, political, historical, hidden gems, and the occult, because it's always in all of them. Gems hidden in real time in these movies. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 or 4. I'll let you know. I'll probably just go ahead and repost this for tomorrow, like repost the announcement for tomorrow tonight. But I'm assuming it'll be closer to 4 o'clock. That'll just give me time to get my mind clear, get myself settled from my volunteer work, and then do that. Thanks. If you have any feedback, any questions, you can email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. Give me money. Make a donation. This is deep study that I do. Hours and hours and hours of study that I do. And you will not hear this anywhere else. I watch so many movie reviews by so many other types of people, and I'm telling you, you will not find a one that is as deep as the one that I just gave you, because they don't have the frame of reference that I do. So give me money. Donate to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. This is a world that we are building. This is not just entertainment. You can make donations at my Cashapp, which is $IyapoNgina, IyapoNgina, at my Venmo, Cassandra, Cassandra -Floyd, Floyd. You can send me Zelle at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. And you can do a PayPal at @IyapoNgina, IyapoNgina. Get at me on all my social media. Go to my YouTube channel, like, follow, subscribe, and share my shit. As of yesterday, I still am short a lot. I need a lot of subscribers, and it's crazy because my watch hours are through the roof. Like my watch hours, I was really deficient in my watch hours like 2 months ago. Now I'm over. I've got like over 5,000 watch hours. But my subscribers has only gone up 100 subscribers since the new year. I need people to subscribe to my shit. And if you don't like my shit, in the comments, say why. I won't get mad. That'll help me to tailor how I need to. But if you're watching my shit, subscribe to my shit. Share it with others. If there's anything in it that has been beneficial or helpful to you, just share it. Now, what I tell my committee is if you can, share a link to any one of my videos, at least 10 shares a week. Share it on your Facebook, Twitter, do shorts yourself of my shit and post them on TikTok. Like, that's simple, not time-consuming stuff that we can all do to get a message out. Okay? Thank you. I love you for it. Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon. All right? See you later.